Want to know what Europe does for you? Welcome to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcast on youth empowerment.
Young people are the future of Europe. They're doctors, teachers, artists, scientists and politicians of the future.
So the European Union is helping member states address young people's challenges and needs to ensure they have the best chances to succeed in life. Want to know more? Stay with us.
The European continent is ageing and the proportion of young people aged 15 to 29 is declining. Today, they account for 17% of the population compared to over 19% in 2006.
On the whole, young people are better educated than older adults and youth unemployment rates have begun to decrease. However, they are still more exposed to poverty and social exclusion, and temporary contracts and financial insecurity make it very difficult for the vast majority of them to leave the nest.
They smoke less, drink less and drive more safely than previous generations, but obesity due to bad eating habits and lack of physical exercise is still an issue.
Young people are also less likely to vote or stand for election than older adults, but in recent years there has been a slight increase in interest in politics, political action and volunteering.
Furthermore, almost 8 in 10 young Europeans identify themselves as European citizens, and in a 2018 survey, they placed education, skills and the environment at the top of their priorities for EU action. So what is the European Union doing for them?
Well, the European Union is engaged in helping member states address young people's needs and aspirations through a youth strategy which covers areas such as employment, entrepreneurship, social inclusion, participation, education, training, health, well-being, voluntary activities, the global dimension, creativity and culture.
To finance all these actions aimed at promoting youth empowerment, the EU draws upon a number of funding programmes that are specifically focused on them. Stay with us and we'll review some of the most important.
Erasmus Plus is perhaps the most well-known EU programme and one which has already allowed millions of young Europeans to study abroad for a few months.
Its success is such that the Commission wants to double the budget for the next 5 years from 15 to 30 billion euros in order to reach 12 million participants. That's 3 times as many as the current programme.
But the Parliament goes even further and wants a budget closer to 45 billion euros, as well as greater focus on the inclusion of young people with fewer opportunities.
Another important funding line is the Youth Employment Initiative, which was launched in 2013 to support young people living in areas of high unemployment.
This goes hand in hand with the Youth Guarantee, a commitment made by member states that young people under 25 years of age will receive a good quality offer of a job, continued education, an apprenticeship or a traineeship within 4 months of becoming unemployed or inactive after leaving formal education.
Since 2014, more than 3.5 million young people have taken up such an offer each year. But there's more. Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs gives young entrepreneurs the opportunity to learn from experienced entrepreneurs in another country.
And the European Solidarity Corps, an expanded European voluntary service, also allows young people to engage in solidarity projects across the Union, from participating in conservation projects to helping in the integration of migrants.
In the past 5 years, member states have been working together to foster student mobility through encouraging universities to recognise studies within a European higher education area and encouraging a similar process for vocational studies.
The EU has also worked to update its common qualifications framework and to recognise skills beyond academic qualifications acquired during volunteering trips or other experiences abroad, and it has also launched initiatives aimed at fighting inequality, racism and discrimination, and to encourage inclusion and diversity.
And in May 2018, the Commission presented its EU Youth Strategy for the Future. Now, what does that consist of? Stay with us.
Under the title Engage, Connect, Empower, the strategy identifies 11 European youth goals: connecting the EU with youth, equality of all genders, inclusive societies, information and constructive dialogue, mental health and well-being, moving rural youth forward, quality employment for all, quality learning, space and participation for all, sustainable green Europe, and youth organisations and European programmes.
The European Parliament wants the current method for developing youth policies to be complemented by more targeted measures, and it has spoken in favour of empowering young people with fewer opportunities to be active in public life.
The Parliament has also called for improvements in working conditions and for other measures that address the social needs of young people who do not have access to the labour market and those of refugees.
It also stressed that investment in education is needed to improve digital skills and tackle the digital divide. And it pointed out that women, who are now the majority of graduates, still face a glass ceiling.
So what else can the EU do in the future to empower young people?
Well, during discussions on the EU's 2019 budget, the Parliament decided to increase funds linked to young people and called to boost programmes that address them directly, as well as new measures to modernise access to education.
New budgetary proposals for the 2021 to 2027 period increase the resources allocated to programmes such as Erasmus, the Youth Employment Initiative and European Solidarity Corps.
A strong sign that Europe is serious about empowering youth. But there are several challenges ahead, notably to better align the European youth strategy with other policy areas so that EU actions have a positive, tangible impact on young people.
Other challenges are to empower young people, including those with fewer opportunities, to participate in the dialogue with decision makers, as well as to create a truly European education area, because investing in young people is investing in Europe's future.
You're listening to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcasts.